Okay, this next section is the agent list, how to create and edit the agent's permissions and settings. So right now we're here on the profile settings, agent drop down, we're looking at the list right now. And some of you have lots of agents. You can search and sort by different branches that they belong to, or you can just type in the agent name in this field here and it gives you a list of the matching names. Giving you a quick bird's eye view of the view that you're looking at. You have the company name that they belong to, their password. You can enable or disable their login rights, change their password, or completely deactivate them altogether. This shows you the number of files that the agent has under their name and how many times they've logged in. And this is their email, and then you can click here to change their email. Promo code, you can ignore that for right now. This is their contact info. This is when you created them. This is the last date that they logged in. And these are the branches that they're affiliated with. Okay? So let's go ahead and open up an agent profile. And this gives you a bit more detailed information on the agent. And you have all your permissions and settings. We'll go over them real quick. Allowed to edit the files. You can say yes. Globally, they can edit all the files and all the statuses. Or no, they're not allowed to edit files. They're read-only. Or you can follow the company settings, which is right here. This is your company settings, located right here. Go to the primary file status, and then this drills down to, every file has a status. So let's say if a file is in review, allow the agent to update and edit the file in this status? No. If the file is being reviewed, we don't want the agent to touch it. So it's set to no. Okay? So you can do that on every single file status. So when you go back to the agent permission right here, you can say just follow those company settings that we already set up. Or you can override it by clicking yes or no. The next one here is allowed to access the Docs tab under any status. If the answer is no, then it follows these settings up here, and they can only access the Docs tab, which lets them send out agreements, and the approved statuses. Allowed to log in TLP agent. That means they can log in or log out. Allowed to send homeowner link for real-time updates. That's a private label feature that lets them send out a link to the homeowner so they can update and view their files. Can they update the admin section of the file? That's just a certain area of the file that lets you update the statuses and assigning the file to other employees. So you may not want them to be able to do that. Allowed to access private notes. You may want them to only see public or private notes when they're made in the system. Can they create files, create tasks, or see the dashboard? Those are all just straight on-off switches. Are they allowed to delete or replace uploaded docs from other people? Usually you want that as no. Can they edit their own notes or delete their own notes? That's just a restrictive yes or no. Can they see the billing section of a file? Do you want them to be able to see what the client is being billed? That's an on-off situation there. Is this the primary agent? What we mean by that is every branch has a primary agent that the agent belongs to. It's kind of like the default agent for the branch. Send new deal alert. Every time they create a new file, you want that to be sent to the branch and to any other emails that are entered in on the branch for notification purposes. Allowed to submit to REST. That's the automated decisioning engine for the HAMP and NPV tool that we have. You can turn that on or off if they're allowed to do that. Can they create Excel reports with their pipeline? That's an export option in the pipeline. It's an on-off. And are they allowed to upgrade or downgrade the DIY clients? That's if you have the DIY system enabled. Are they able to, mark somebody as paid in the system? It's kind of an administrative tool, so you can mark that as yes or no. Now, agents can be linked to more than one branches. So, if you have different entities that are set up as branches or different divisions, you can link an agent to more than one. So, when they create a file in their system, remember, agents have their own login portal. They can send a file to different branches if they're allowed to here. So just mark off what other branches they're allowed to send files to. Now this section here, assign employees to this agent, this basically enables the ability for an agent to communicate with back office personnel. So if they're assigned and allow communication, then it's like a two-way communication where the employee can send updates and notes to the agent, and the agent can go back and forth. If they're assigned but do not allow communication, then the employee, who is the processor on the file, they can send notes and updates directly to the agent, but the agent can't send it back. And then not assigned, it's just we keep them both out of each other, and it's just view only as far as what's going on with the notes. The next section down here, copy and paste the following links in your website to display on your online short submission form. These are all web forms available for each branch. Okay, so because this agent is linked up here to these 3 different branches, I can have a URL link. Like, look, if you click on this link, it opens up. Let me see. When you click on that link, it opens up a web form that is tied to the agent. So then they can send this to their clients, and they can put it on their own website, you know, if they know how to use the HTML iframe code. And that way, every lead that comes through here is automatically tied to that agent and to that specific branch. Okay?